guys have 2 more minutes. You guys have everything answered. You're not missing anything. You know, the calls will be online for the next 6 months, so you can go back and listen to anything. If you're missing any materials, they're online for you also, so that's the good news. Hopefully you've built a policy and procedures manual. Be prepared at the end of the call. I need some people to participate. So tell me one idea that you've implemented and share that with the group, and in that way that everybody can kind of think back through the material. What are some of the great things that you've done that have helped hopefully move your business forward? So be prepared to contribute. That would be so great for the call, and tell me who you are and where you're from, because that way, what's so great is that it'll be an idea that somebody forgot, didn't think about, went, wow, that is a good idea. I can work on that. And then also, before we get started real quick, there is the Graduate Real Estate Assistant Program, which is a mastermind, and we don't allow more than 20 assistants on the call. And it's a great call. It's specifically working on different things that you need to work on, and it specifically covers some questions that you have. And it's every assistant interacting and moving the business forward on different things that we mastermind, and we share with everyone what we've got, and then we pull the best ideas and fine-tune all the systems. So you look at the graduate program. There's another one starting, I believe, in March after family reunion. So make a note. You can always send me an email if you're interested, and we'll keep you in the loop. Monica at Heller Team with an H, H-E-L-L-E-R team.com. Also at Family Reunion, I'll be speaking 5 times, so if you're going, I'd love to know about it. You can email me and come to the room and say, hey, I was in your program. I'd love to see you, love to meet you. Okay, Stephanie, rock it out.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Stephanie, and I'm going to be your Fast Track Coordinator today. I'm going to make a few announcements before we get started, and I hand you back over to Coach Monica. We do ask that you help us keep the noise levels to a minimum. Please, if you're not interacting on the call, make sure your line is muted. You can use the mute button on your phone if you have one, or you can hit *6 to mute and then *6 to unmute when you want to ask a question or you have a comment. If you're on a cell phone or you have us on speaker, please keep yourself muted, as it does make an extremely loud echo for us. Please don't put us on hold, otherwise we will be listening to your hold music. Also, a heads up, we can see everyone's line that is dialed into this call and how much feedback is coming from it. If you forget to mute yourself and are creating too much feedback, I will mute you. I prefer not to, as once you're muted from my side, you're muted for the rest of the call without an option to interact or ask any questions. Okay, Monica, they're all yours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Stephanie, the world's greatest assistant. All right, everybody, welcome to the last call, you graduates. All right, we're going to be talking about customer service. Oh, boy. We're going to talk about tools for goal setting, accountability, assistant evaluation, characteristics of a great assistant, and we're going to review the top 10 ideas, and also everything interweaved in here will be about customer service also. So turn the page to page 4. So are your goals clearly defined? At this time of the year, they should be. So make a note, by next year, by November 15th, you should have all of the goals done with your team. Are your goals realistic for the team? 20% increase is always great and doable if you have a plan. Are your goals visible? Are they posted? Right where I stand right now, where I'm talking to you, they're posted. What are the characteristics of a great executive assistant? What are your systems for accountability? Do you personally have a system to bring business to the team? You should be bringing business to the team. I've given you some of the great forms where you can think about 100 people you know and start emailing them, put them in the database, put them in the source of business as your name. Get your family and friends to refer you business. Then what are the top 10 ideas you got from this program? So I'm going to ask you to participate. I'm going to ask you to come off mute, *6 to mute, *6 to unmute. And the reason is that I want to make sure that you guys are absolutely clear about a couple of things, and that is help bring business to the team. That's number 1. But 2, there's some clear things that should have happened, during this program. All right, let's turn to page 5. We've got a ton to do. That's why you're going to hear me in overdrive pretty fast here. Okay, the importance of goal setting. Number 1, roadmap to success. A roadmap to success. Number 2, know where you're going. Number 2, know where you're going. Number 3, team building. Team building. Number 4, focus. Number 5, purpose. So think about that in your personal life and in your professional life. Roadmap to success. Tells you where you're going. Team building. You got to all be on the same page. Gives you focus, number 4, and 5, purpose. 5 must-dos in goal setting. Number 1, written and posted. Write the goals out, post them. If you keep them in a drawer, you never look at them, then it's not a goal. It's like, oh, I hope we do this. Number 2, have to be realistic. When an agent doubles and triples their business in 1 year, my first question is, what's your infrastructure? What systems do you have to support that kind of business happening? What are you going to do differently in your schedule? What are you going to do differently in your lead generation? So 2, it has to be realistic. 3, you have to have a timeline and benchmarks. So the first quarter you should be at this. The second quarter you should be at this. The third quarter you should be at this. And number 4, evaluate progress. And number 5, reward. What's the reward? I love the reward. Okay, if we do this, this happens. If we do this, that happens. Okay? All right, so turning the page on number 6. Why should the team and I set goals? All right, everything I'm going to go through here are things that will be great in your office policy and procedures manual for office meeting. These are tools that you bring out at this time of the year, the beginning of the year. Review these things about goals. So why should the team and I set goals? Anyone who's done anything has set a goal. Look at the goals being set. I love the Olympics right now. Just think about what those people are doing. You know, they're all ages in the Olympics. And what are they doing right now? They're focused. They're laser beamed in on that gold medal. Goals give us a purpose. It's team building, and it creates a community. So here are 8 very defined steps for goals. 1, you have to have the desire. 2, it has to be written down. So ways to successfully write the goal. Business plan, whiteboard, daily planner, picture with a date. So let's say you want to buy a car. Take a picture of the car you want, put it up on your board with a date on it. You have to have an accountability system. And you have to affirmations. I easily and magically sell 289 homes in 2015. I mean, these are the things that you have to have in your head, that you're positive about it. You know, so the answers there are whiteboard, daily planner, picture with a date, accountability system, and affirmations. You got to believe in yourself that you can do it. Okay, list all obstacles. That's self-explanatory. Number 4, have deadlines. We've talked about that. Put things in a logical order, like what's first, second, third, and fourth to do. Visualize in pictures. Most of us do that. 7 is persistence. And, of course, number 8 is reward. So if you get off track, get back on track. Just think about the Olympic athletes. Look at what they do, what the sacrifices they make, the training that they do. And then I ask an agent to do 1 hour of role-playing a week, and you think I asked them to, you know, jump off a building. I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, here you go. 2014 business plan. So this is a 1-page plan that should be up in front of you. And if you have a team member, like a buyer's agent, in front of your buyer's agent, you should give it to your affiliates so that they know what you're planning on doing. Hope and say to them, of course, they can't share that with anyone. You know, who's on your team that will support you? Who will help bring you in business? You know, this is a great 1-page plan. Yearly, monthly, weekly, what we need to do. Now you see a sample of ours. Okay, turn the page to page 10. We're going quickly. Monthly meeting. So here's our monthly meeting. Now, remember, I have 2 meetings a week with my team. And then we have a end of the month meeting, beginning of the month meeting, and what we do is we go over what happened and what our goal was, good, bad, ugly, mostly good, I hope, and then we talk about what the goal is going to be for the next month. So we go over the actual, and go over the goal, and what the goal is for next month. So there's a lot that goes on in that meeting, so that's a great form for you to organize for your meetings. The 5 F's. Faith, family, fun, fitness, and finances. You know, my kids are, I got a daughter that's 42, I've got, my other kids are in their late 30s. So they've always set goals at Christmas time, between Christmas and New Year's, even as little kids. And it was, you know, you don't have to fill out the 8 blanks if you don't have 8 blanks for faith or family or fun. They usually had all the 8 blanks filled out for the fun part. But it just is great training. And if you have, young kids, a family, great to sit down and say, let's talk about what goals would be this year. What would be a fun goal for you? What's a vacation goal? Where would you like to go? And say, okay, that sounds like something we can do like in a couple of years, but so let's start saving a little money for that. I mean, so think about these things with them and teach them the right things too, but it's so great for you. All right, page 12, business plan. So yearly goals for 2014, obviously. And then so here it is broken out into the monthly, January, February, March, etc. This is a great plan so that each agent understands what they have to do monthly if they want to break it out further as far as appointments, etc. The other one is the one-page plan, just what has to happen, listing, sold, buyer, sales. So you've got those, all right? So we're getting through this pretty good right now. I'm on track here, so go to page 15, monthly goal board. So we've talked a lot about whiteboards, and I'm a huge proponent of the visual. If you don't have a whiteboard, put a white piece of paper up or something. But help the agent be accountable. You know, every day I walk by my whiteboards and I look to see what's on there, what's happening. So I know exactly every single day. Most agents, believe it or not, and I coach people who do, you know, huge amounts of business. They're in the, you know, I coach the #1 Keller Williams agent. I coach people that are in the teams in the top 5, and people that are groups that are in the top 5. I mean, I've got a key and a pulse into these guys, and they know their numbers, but it's in some of them that are not, let me put it this way, a lot of agents have no clue what their numbers are on a day-to-day basis. So I said, how many listings you've taken? I don't know, I have to find out. How many sales have you had? I don't know, I have to find out. That's not the right answer. I know every minute what we have going on. And that's how you become a business person versus just a real estate agent flying by the seat of your pants. So, to be a great executive assistant, help the agent know their numbers. What's going to happen, they'll do more, and ultimately you get the benefit. So, you know, you can have a board that just says November on it or December, whatever the month would be, number of sales, number of listings. If the agent wants to take 20 listings a month, you got to put it in there. They want to take 10 listings, you go 1 through 10. And every time there's a new listing, put it up on the board. Ring the bell, yay! Every time there's a sale, put it on the board. Ring the bell, yay! All right, turn the page. My favorite, the Just Do It form. So, even on my team, I had a little resistance. So an agent that joined our team goes, I don't see the purpose. I talk to a lot of people. I'm not going to take the time to count how many people I talk to. And they go, really? Really? So let me ask you this question. How many people do you have to talk to until you convert a lead? How many people do you have to talk to until you write a contract? How many people, you know, have you talked to this month? Well, I don't know. Exactly. And so we are a number-based driven business. It's all about the numbers. It's knowing exactly. So this is one of the very, very, very best forms you can ever use for trackers. Now, I know some of you have tracking systems in your computer, and you guys know how I feel about that. You know, plant a tree, kill a tree, make paper. That's where I'm at. So the Just Do It form, that's what you need. Take a look at that. Make sure your team is using that for accountability. Every Friday, I'm getting these turned in from my buyer team. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, I am. Monthly budget. Okay, so I don't know, you know, what kind of budget your agent is on. I don't know how many houses they need to sell to break even. We have to sell 12 homes and close 12 homes. Let me put it this way. We have to close 12 homes in order to pay the bills around here. And if we close less than 12, then Chris and I get to dive into the savings account. And that's not so much fun. However, if we sell over 12, then we've got extra money, which is always great. So listening to what I'm saying is, looking at the monthly budget, these are what I put down. Obviously, you need to make it things that are appropriate for your business also, but to be a great executive assistant, you should have a handle on how much money is going out, how many houses it takes to break even. And break even means the IRS and all the taxes have been paid. So this is a great cash flow commissions for the year. You can write down the address, the buyer, the seller. The agents can use this. Great tool for buyer agents. Love that. Okay, how to be an irreplaceable assistant. Okay, circle number 2. Make the agent's problems your own. Own it. It's kind of like the baby with the dirty diaper that's coming up. Number 11, Don't take it personally. Develop thick skin. I'm going to go through a few that I think are worth mentioning. They're all great. You should read them all. You should look at them all. You should judge yourself and see where you need to improve. And there's always room for constant and never-ending improvement. I know that about myself, and I know once you accept that, then your ego gets in control, knowing that you can always improve. As someone said to me, why do you go to so many classes? After 33, 34 years in real estate, you probably know more than the speakers up there half the time. I go, I know a good portion, but I always hear something that excites me. I always look for that one little gem that gets me going again. So the same thing is about you as an irreplaceable assistant. Read this list and see what you need to do to step it up. Be a can-do person. I hate it when someone says to me, I don't know how to do that, or I'm pretty busy. I'm not sure I can do that right now. Oh, no, 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 no. Be a can-do person. All right. Number 17, 2 ways to come to work, on time or early. 2 ways. I don't know. The agents just love you on time or early. They can't control anything in their life but when that door opens for the office. Take a lunch break. I've talked a lot about that ad nauseum. And I'm just going to take a breath here and just say to you, please, under no circumstance, do you not take a lunch break. You will get more done in the afternoon, and it's your ego that makes you sit at the desk and eat there. You're not going to get a gold star. No one's going to say 10 years at the cocktail party 10 years later, you know, she never took a lunch break. You know, who cares? Take a lunch break. Go sit in your car, listen to the radio, read a magazine, you know, take a nap, go to Starbucks, go see a friend, go do an errand, figure something out. But you need to take a break because you'll be more productive. Customer service will be much better in the afternoon, and you won't have that 3 o'clock, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through the rest of the day? All right, next one, number 24, watch expenses. You're the guard. You're the gatekeeper. 28, return all phone messages and emails immediately or within the time frames of an hour. I mean, that's the critical thing. You've got to have excellent response time for customer service. Database is the only asset, number 31, an agent has, so make sure that your database is absolutely perfect. The database has to be with all the names, addresses, and phone numbers of everyone. So make sure that you absolutely have that under control. Number 33, handle all problems. And number 35, be the captain of the ship. Own it. Own your job. All right, page 21. I only got 40 more pages to go, so hang on, just kidding. Got a bunch more to do, though. Okay, so 15 things every agent wants from their assistant. I'm not going to read this to you, but number 1 is bring 1 referral a month. You guys can read the list next. And then number 11, or number 13, bring a money-making idea. Bring a money-making idea, number 13. Number 14, be great at customer service. And number 15, be a great team player. Money-making idea, be great at customer service, be a great team player. Be willing to help the team. Be part of a team. Have the core of, I'm so glad I'm on a team. I'm so glad we're specialized. Turn the page. So when you have a buyer agent, one of the things that you have a new team member, a new assistant, here's ways that they can jog their memory so that they can come to the office with 100 people that they need to contact and be excited about why I've joined this great team, and look at this. All right, page 24. Remember, these are all things that you should be putting in your policy and procedures manual. Okay, page 24. Why teams fail. Oh, and I hear about it all the time. I hear about disasters. I hear about people leaving. I hear about problems with assistants, problems with agents, problems with communication, problems with money. You know, it's all crazy. So number 1 is unclear goal. So if you have a team and you don't have a clear goal, here's the solution. You meet weekly, okay, and you talk about your goals, like a weekly meeting, talk about where we are, what's going on, and you meet monthly, and it's posted. So you weekly and monthly about the goals, and it's posted. It's conversational. It's posted, okay? Number 2, teams fail because the directions change all the time. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay, no, we're going to do this now. Oh, stop doing that. We're going to do this instead. Oh, now let's go over here and do this. Oh, we need to have this happen. So the solution is a great executive assistant, but be flexible but also ask questions so that the agent's being reasonable. Can you tell me more about that, why we're changing directions? How does this help our business versus finishing this first? So when somebody changes directions on you, be flexible, hear the whole thing, and then say, should we finish this first before we change directions? Are we completely scrapping that so we can change directions? So basically, it's communication too. Lack of focus and clarity. So the solution on that is written and doable goals. Written and doable goals, okay? Number 4, lack of accountability. The solution is one person has to be in charge. Look in the mirror, that's you. When you have different things going on in the team, if you're working on a system, if you're working on this, if you're working on that, somebody's got to be in charge. Look in the mirror, that's you, one person in charge. Lack of leadership. Solution, designated person. So usually the agent is the leader of the group and they have the leadership. Sometimes an executive assistant like yourself has been moved up into that area, or you've demonstrated that you've taken that leadership role, or you've said, here's what needs to happen next, here's what I did, and by the way, I'm delegating this to you and I'm delegating that to you, and then I'll spearhead it. So, you know, what I'm trying to share with you is empower yourself to grow in the job. The more you empower yourself and do the job and then start doing other things ahead of what, you know, anticipating what needs to be done, you become extremely valuable as an executive assistant. All right? So lack of leadership, the solution is a designated person who rises to be the leader, who wants to be the leader. Number 6, ineffective scheduled review. Solution, schedule reviews weekly. So ineffective scheduled review. You know, have reviews scheduled weekly. Have them scheduled every 90 days depending on what you're doing. So if we're setting a new expired program, then I'm looking at that weekly for the results. As far as assistant goes, you should be looking at a 90-day review for an assistant. I mean, as far as a buyer agent goes, they need to be reviewed weekly to see what they're doing, okay? Turn the page. Here's the assistant self-evaluation. How'd you pay for yourself? How'd you develop goals? How'd you become CEO of your job? How'd you make your boss look good? Who relied on you? Etc. Okay, turn the page. Employee team feedback. All right, so here's a form that says basically works well under pressure. How would the agent rate you? Takes initiative, solves problem, friendly, helpful to everyone. You would hire this person. Seeks out responsibility, is an independent thinker, a good listener. So this also works well for you as an assistant to evaluate your boss. Just a thought, just a thought. So let's talk about on page 27, myths. All right, myths. And common myths about assistants. So assistants are just paper pushers and message takers. That's all you guys do. Ha, 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 ha. The reality is you're in charge of everything. You're in charge of every single thing in that office. Myth number 2. Assistants should just focus on making the office run smoothly. The reality is you're in charge of customer service. You're in charge of lead generation. You're in charge of the schedules. You're in charge of profit and loss. You're in charge of everything. Myth number 3. When an assistant puts a good system in place, the system should just run itself. No tinkering necessary. I've changed my pre-list package 5 times this year. Probably Stephanie's pulling her hair out. Well, get ready. Next year will probably be just as much. I'm always tinkering. And so write down this. CANI. Constant and never-ending improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement. Myth number 4. Mind reader. You're supposed to be a mind reader. You're supposed to see things happen before they're happening. You're psychic. You're clairvoyant. Didn't anybody tell you that in the job description? So the solution to that, or the reality is that you have to become a great communicator. Ask questions. Tell the agent to slow down for 2 minutes. You've got some questions for him. Tackle them. Don't let them run in and out of the office and think you just have it. Just say, I'm raising my hand. I need 2 minutes. I need to go over these questions with you. That means you come prepared. but you have to look ahead and say, okay, he's coming in, agent's coming in for 15, 20 minutes. I need to tackle him. Let me get my questions ready. So I'm expecting you guys and gals to become a great communicator and raise your hand. Myth number 5, assistants keep the agent on track 100% of the time. The reality is that, first of all, you have to know the agent's schedule. You have to be involved. And the agent has to follow the schedule and tell you when it changes. So you have to know the schedule. All right, so on page 28, where do I go from here? I keep developing and improving my skills doing the following. Okay, so we're closing down after 6 months of training, and now the implementation starts. So on number 1, you're going to list 10 ideas that you got from this program, and you're going to call it your project list. And list just 10 projects that you want to work on with a date. And I'll go through that in a few minutes on how you implement. Number 2, I'm going to ask you to go back and listen to all the sessions. Listen to them all. And number 3, take one item at a time, only one, and work on that until it's completed. Don't do 2, don't do 3, don't start anything, don't even look at it. Do 1 and check it off. Then number 4, sign up and consider the Graduate Real Estate Assistant Program. You can go on KW and you can go into the maps, the fast track part, and take a look at that, and you can see all of the different programs. But the graduate program, I believe, will be starting again in March. So take a look at that, because it's, like I said, there's only 20 on the call. I call on you every week. You have certain things that you bring, and we mastermind ideas, and we go, oh, that's a good idea. Let's put that in the pre-list package. Or, oh, that's a good idea. Right now, the class and I are working on a new buyer agent associate manual. So when they walk in, everything is in there about KW, training, leads, the website, everything's in there. It's amazing. Okay? Implementation system. So on page 29, so here are some examples on how to implement. I'm trying to get to the half hour here so we have some time to talk about these 10 ideas. I think I made it. So, you want to sit with your agent and identify the top 10 things, and don't write out 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 because it's just too daunting. Just do 10. And then when you get the 10 done, do another 10. But let's look at the 10, all right? And so the first one, let's say that if you look at project database cleanup. And so we want to get all the phone numbers and emails cleaned up, and, we want to improve the foundation of our business, which is the database. So we're going to start that January 5th, okay? And end date would be February 1st. Who will be involved? Role play the script, divide the database, 15 calls per day, use the Disneyland close. By the way, thanks for working with Chris Heller's team. We really appreciate the business. Is there anything else I can do to help your day? So that's the Disneyland close. You heard me say that 4 million times. And if you left a message, then keep calling them until you get them. So that's project number 1, all right? And then, you have to evaluate what happened at the end of the project, and, if you have to keep going over and over again. But that is an implementation system where you take one thing at a time. So we're here, finally, page 30. Okay, so I want to take a few minutes here before we go through the rest of what's left to do. And I need you to participate. I need you to tell me who you are, where you're from, and tell me one idea that you implemented, because whatever idea you got, somebody else didn't think about it, and they're going to go, oh, I'm so glad they wrote that down, because what I want you to do is leave the call with your top 10 ideas. Now, I'm going to give you a little FYI. Your agent may not have mentioned this to you, but I told them that you're going to leave with your top 10 ideas. So you need to give those top 10 ideas, because they'll be looking to see if you're accountable for this call. So write down the top 10 ideas that you got from the call, sit down with your agent, and put an implementation system together, which I'll help you with now. So who are you? Where are you from? And what's your number 1 idea that you learned out of a 6-month training program?
Hi, Monica. This is Andrea from Ocean City, New Jersey.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to say that you did a section on the different letters and customer service letters, and I'm a huge believer in customer service. I think it drives the business. And the letters that you gave us, the orphan buyer, we've used them since I've been taking this course, and we found that to be very helpful and supportive in the direction we're going with our business. So I'm very appreciative, not only for that, but all the other chapters we went through, but that's just one thing I'd like to share for now.
Well, I'm so glad you did that. Thank you so much. And, just writing down customer service letters. So for that to be something that somebody wrote down, one of the things that I would write down would be customer service letters, and then you could write down taking a listing, not taking a listing, because there's thank you for the appointment. I look forward to talking to you in the future. You could write down congratulations, your home is sold. Congratulations, your home is closed. The orphan buyer. So there's about 6 or 7 little letters like that, and then you can go back through all the others, like it's time to move, and here's what you need to do to clean your house, you crazy people. And so there's all those other letters, and here's a link to our website, call, email, call. So I think something like that, you could just probably take an hour and pull some of those letters and put them into your system. It wouldn't take that long. So that is an absolutely great, doable one. So I thank you for that.
And just one more thing to that, always asking for the referral at the end of your letter. We always, we add that to everything now. We appreciate you, selecting us to represent you, and if you have any friends or family, blah, 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 that whole thing. So that's something we incorporate.
That's awesome. That is great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you for that. Good. Okay, so we're on to idea number 2. Who's got idea number 2, please?
Hi, Monica. Hi, Monica. This is Melissa in Baltimore, Maryland.
Melissa in Baltimore. You're cold.
So one of the things that we've implemented was that seller acknowledgement form.
Yes. Isn't that a marvelous thing?
It's been fantastic for expectation setting for our sellers.
And if you don't know what that is and can't remember, it's when I'm at the listing and I tell them, here's how it goes with an offer if we get an offer in 24 hours, and here's why we're getting that offer, and here's what we do about the lockbox and showings. And so they check it off and they initial it. So you're getting your sellers to initial that too, right?
Yes, we are.
Good. Now what's great about that, you guys and gals, this is a great idea. All you have to do is take the form, look at it, make any other modifications or additions that you need to. You put it in every listing file for your for your agent. Put 2 copies in there, one for the seller, one for you guys. And then the agent goes through those after the listing is signed, and it sets all the expectations. That should take 1 hour or less to do. So we got some good stuff we can get done pretty quickly here. So thank you for that, Miss Baltimore. All right, good. Who's got idea number 3, please?
Hi, Monica.
Hi. You are?
It's Vicki from the Johns Family Team, Keller Williams, Overland Park.
Oh, yay. Okay, good. Overland Park. I always hear from you. That's so great.
We've implemented the weekly meetings. We haven't gotten to the daily meetings, but definitely the weekly meetings going over business start to finish from the top to the bottom.
Good. A weekly is just fine when you have a team. That's plenty. So that's great. All right. So I'm going to write down weekly meeting, and that can be done immediately. And go back and look through what the format was. And are you keeping it to 30 minutes or less?
We are, yes.
That's the beauty of a meeting, honestly. When I hear agents do these 1.5 to 2 hour meetings, who wants to go to that? That's ridiculous.
It is.
Good. Thank you for that. So there's a whole chapter on that, gang, and you've got all these great things to talk about in a meeting when you're educating. Good. Oh, we're on to idea number 4. Who's got number 4, please?
Hi, this is Julie with Keller Williams in Roseville, California.
Yes, Roseville. Okay, outside of Sacramento. Yes, ma'am. What do you have?
You know, we've been using the feedback questions for cooperating buyer agents, which is really great.
Feedback questions. Isn't that great? And like I said to you, I really don't like the services that are over the internet. You lose the personal touch. You lose the conversation with the seller so you can get a price reduction. So the feedback forms, those 3 questions that you ask. Is your buyer going to write an offer? What would it take for your buyer to write an offer? And the 3rd question, what do you think the property will sell for? That makes a huge difference in you getting that price down, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Got a girl. I like it. Okay, good. Hey, idea number 5. Who are you? Where are you from?
Hi, Monica. This is Nancy with Key Partners in Prairie Village, Kansas.
Oh, Kansas. Well, thank you, Nancy, for joining in the call here and chiming in. The rest of you for participating. This is going good. What did you like on all the calls?
Well, we also implemented the weekly meeting, but the thing that I really like and have implemented faithfully is the Friday report that outlines everything that I've accomplished for the week and the week high and the week low. And I even added, what the goals are for the following week.
Hey, that's a great idea, too. And let me talk a little bit about that, because that Friday report is so important. And doesn't it help you as far as looking at that and you're going, wow, I did get a lot done? It gives you a little satisfaction, too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, because oftentimes you get so busy that it becomes a blur. You don't even remember what you did that week, and when your agent is not in the office with you all the time, it just reestablishes for them your value and that you are accomplishing things even though you're basically operating unseen.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, and that's the second point, is that first it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and 2, it validates the agents going, gosh, this is good, great, they're doing their job, this is going forward, this is awesome. So, it gives the agent an update. So in my office, we have 5 assistants, and those reports help me talk to Chris Heller each week, who is mainly in Austin. It allows me to talk to him about what's going on in the office on each department, too, instead of me going around, what's going on, because he's asking me what's happening, and I can say, oh, well, here's a good win that happened in this department. Here's a win that happened here. So no matter if you're one assistant and you got 4 or 5 assistants, this is just great accountability for everybody, and it just makes sure that the business is moving forward. So thank you for the Friday report. So it's 5 things that you did to move business forward, the week high, the week low, and what did you do to wow a customer? And then you added the goals for the next week. Awesome. Who's got idea number 6, please?
Left her 2 messages.
Hi, Monica. Nicole from Keller Williams Mainline Realty in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania.
Nicole, yes, in Pennsylvania. All right.
One thing that we've really implemented is the whiteboard system. I think it's brilliant. I come in every day, and the whiteboard is actually above my desk because I'm in charge of all the files.
Yep.
So what I do every day is that I'll go through that whiteboard. I'll check all the deadlines. I'll check all the inspections. I'll check with the mortgage company and make sure that everything's there. And I have it categorized, so I'll put a check mark and a date so my agent can just come in and see and look right at that board and know that things are done. And that's been really helpful for us.
Because it cut him out asking you the dumb question over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I know where that was going. You were being nice. I'll just tell you like it is. The same question over and over and over again. Just look at the board. Don't talk to me. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. So the time frame is you guys, this might take a day or 2 to get the whiteboard exactly like you like it, and working on it here and there. I gave you great suggestions and what you need. And then how to implement it is you hang it up on the wall and you start working it. I mean, it's not a big deal to put this into a time frame and to implement. And going back to the Friday report, just print off what I have. It'll take you 2 seconds to implement it, and every Friday, put it on your calendar on the Friday report to fill it out and send it to the agent. Have a timer on your phone. I don't know what you're going to do, but do something like that. Okay, good. Oh, idea number 7 already. Who's got idea number 7?
Hi, this is Sandy with Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ah, Sandy in Tulsa. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure which one I want to talk about, but we've implemented several. We've done the honeymoon, and that has worked out fantastic for both seller and buyers. And we've also implemented the whiteboard as well and the deadline board.
Good. The whiteboard and the deadline board. And the deadline board, so everybody remembers, I gave you all the categories. It's all of the things in a closing and a transaction that have to happen, so you can check them off as they're done. Your agent can see those. Now let me go back to the honeymoon checklist. Now that's a good one. Calling that client the first 5 days, opening a new escrow of new pending, or the first 5 days of a new listing. It sets the expectations. So thank you for bringing up the honeymoon, because if you didn't, I was going to, because that's one of the top things that where you can talk about customer service and you over customer service that person. And you get ahead of their questions and you anticipate what their questions are. I mean, that's how they become a raving lunatic fan for life, too. So the honeymoon checklist, you can print off ours, make your corrections to it. Might take you a couple of weeks to put it into place, and then you make a copy, and you put it in every file, and you check it off as you do it. That's a honeymoon. All right? Thank you for that, Ms. Tulsa. Who's got number 8 idea, please?
Yeah, this is Lucy from Keller Williams in Fort Worth, Texas, the Biedenharn team.
Okay, Lucy from Fort Worth. All right, yes, ma'am. What's your idea?
Well, I have implemented the daily to-do list. It is on a clipboard. It sends to the right-hand side of my desk. I love it. We were just out of work for 4 days due to an ice storm.
Yeah.
And there is nothing like coming back after 4 days and going, oh, hell, what have I done? And it's there. I don't throw them away. I file them on the bottom. So I came back, I went through my notes, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what I have to do. This is where I left off. This is where I need to start.
There
so
you go.
It's just really good. If you run out of time or you don't get an answer, you just move it over to tomorrow. If I have a call or a question on a file for my agent and he's out, I write it under the problems and the questions so that when he comes in and he walks by my office before he gets busy, I said, hey, I got a question. And it's just great to have right there just on your right-hand side for anything and everything. I love it.
Gosh, you know, all these ideas, which I love about Ms. Fort Worth right now, this will just take minutes to print it off. And the key thing that you said was put it on a clipboard. Because if you put it on a clipboard, you're not going to lose a piece of paper. And
no.
So I'm glad you caught that part of the training where I said, get a clipboard, put it on a clipboard. And then you implemented what I also suggested is don't throw it out, because sometimes you've got to reference back. Did I do this? Did I did that? When did I do that? And now you've got a reference. So don't throw them out. Just put them underneath. Keep building your clipboard up, right?
Absolutely.
Good job. I love that. Thanks, Ms. Fort Worth. Who's got number 9 idea? We've got some good ones. I like this. Number 9. Running out of steam here. Come on, you guys, think of an idea. What have you put into place? What have you liked?
This is Julie Garner again with the Keller Williams, the Roseville office.
Yes, Julie, of course.
I really enjoyed the survey letter, and we also added at the very end a way for them to ask for their birthdays and their anniversaries.
Ah, good change. I'm going to make that change myself right now. I just added that. I never thought about that. Good idea. Their birthday and their anniversary. Now, in that customer survey, since I know you're California, just give it over to your escrow company to have there so when they go in to sign docs that they're going to sign it then.
Exactly.
And then you get 100% back. Way to go, Julie. Okay, who's got number 10 idea? One more. One more. And it's going to be a good one, I know.
Hi, this is Regina at Keller Williams, the local group in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Thank you, Regina. What have you got? Because I know it's going to be a good one.
I have to say the short sale listing agreement addendum where we can change the price without sending paperwork back to the seller.
There you go. That made a huge change for you for time efficiency, didn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So on idea number 10, we're going to write down short sale addendum, to the price changes, but also write down short sale package, buyer package, and pre-list package. You guys should all be looking at yours, comparing with what I sent you, and taking a look at that. Okay, there's a couple of other things. There's so many ideas, but I'm just looking back at a few of the past calls. Idea number 1 would be, obviously putting together a policy and procedures manual that you could, reference all of the things that, you've done so that you have a great reference manual. Another one that came up was to touch files every single day. So take all your listing files out, touch them, look at them, call them, do what you need. You'll never have any problems if you, touch your files, all right? Another one said post your job description. so the agent was clear what your job description was, and you're clear about it. The phone is the cash register. So be sure you're visualizing how much that phone, every time it rings, what an average commission is. And, picking up that phone, using a great greeting and helping that customer. Learning to ask for referrals. And see, one other idea was, well, this was a pretty good one too, is to have when you hire buyer agents, make sure that you have some great accountability systems for them, like their top 10 buyers are, a pre-qualifying questionnaire. That was another one that came up. So if you look back, there's just tons and tons of ideas, tons of them. All right, so I'm not going to read Turning Mediocrity into Greatness or The Power of Belief, but these are great things that you can share at this time of the year. And then on page 35, here's a list of books that we as a team have read, and we take one book a month, and we basically read a few chapters each week and discuss it. So we've got a new book that we just got, and I don't think it's on this list if you want to add it. It's called Delivering Knock Your Socks Off Service. So I'm going to add that to my form here, Delivering Knock Your Socks Off Service. We just got this book. This is what we're reading now. And it is written by, why don't we have an offer? It says Performance Research. Okay, it's written by Performance Research, so it's a collaboration of a whole bunch of people. So Delivering Knock Your Socks Off Service, 5th edition. So they've made constant and never-ending improvement, apparently. Good for them. Okay, so with that said, I wanted to go to this part, which basically is a couple of good things. So I want to go through, some more ideas and what you got out of the class, because what happens when you do that, then it's going to be, what's so great is what you learned and what you implemented, because first of all, this is my one thing. I so appreciate you being on these calls. You have a little note from me, but you also have, which is so great, a certificate that says you graduated from this class. And so let's talk a little bit more about some of the ideas. So what have you learned and that wasn't mentioned that's helped you and your agent to become a better team? Who's got number one? Some more ideas, guys. There's a ton. Look through your books, look through the information real quick, whatever you need to do.
Hey, Monica.
Yes.
Hi, it's Vicki again, Overland Park.
Good, Vicki, Miss Overland. I'd love to talk to you. Go right ahead. Tell me some more.
Thank you. Just as an overall throughout this whole program, it just really solidifies that everything does flow through us to make everything run smoothly. We're kind of the air traffic controllers of the team.
Absolutely. You're air traffic control. You're the everything. How did you like that when I said the myth is you just push paper? No, you're everything.
Yeah. So it definitely brought all of it home and true.
There you go. Good. I like that. And then so has it also helped you knowing how valuable you are to the team and what your contribution is?
Absolutely. I've really seen the dynamic. Having this information behind me and in my head, really I've seen the dynamic between myself and my agent. Just everything changes. Yeah, everything has, gradually changed to the point of the synergy is there. Everything is really, all of the systems are falling into place. Everything is just falling into place, and we are just so super excited for 2014.
You bet. I'm excited for you because you have the systems in place. So a couple of things that I wanted to mention is that we talked about the 10% notebook and writing done and done when the agent calls you into the office and wants to give you some stuff to do. Put it on one piece of paper. When it's done, just write done and stick it on their chair. The personality style should help you, and hopefully you're putting that on every file, who the buyer and seller are. Obviously, working on closing letters and any of the other customer service letters. the seller honeymoon checklist and the buyer, or the seller honeymoon checklist, but also the listing honeymoon checklist. And hopefully, you know, the phone scripts will help you also with customer service and having a great introduction call when you're calling that listing for the first time, going through the checklist. It's a perception that's making them feel important, MMFI. So those are just some more things, too, that I think are so important. And ultimately, hopefully, everything is getting put into a notebook so you have a reference manual. Good. Who's got the next one for me?
Hi, Monica. Nancy again with Key Partners in Prairie Village.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes. What else?
I like the whole focus of everything that you've gone through is to get in the mindset that you are running your team like a business. You're doing policy and procedures manuals. You're doing evaluations and goal setting and watching expenses, and I think that's all something that not everyone on the team really thinks about, but it's definitely the way that it needs to be run because this is a business and we all depend on it for income, and I just like all the ideas that you've put in there regarding running your team like a business.
Yeah, you know, and if it hasn't come across, and I so appreciate that, is that you guys, you know, this is my one thing. I've been doing this longer than anybody. No one's ever tried to teach assistants but me, which is interesting. And you know, in itself, but I highly respect what you do, and I know as an agent that I am really good as a listing agent, not so great at the computer, not so great at keeping track of numbers, not so great at, you know, how does this work, or where's that, or can you put that package together for me? If I had to put a buyer package or a seller package together, it'd take me a couple of months of Sundays to figure that out. And yet, I can just say to Stephanie, hey, I need a seller package. Boom, within a few minutes.
The wrong time to go to the lights room.
Uh-oh. In a few minutes, I have that. And so, you know, with that said, what I really want you to hear, and that other person wasn't able to hear this, is that I highly respect who all of you are. And I know, if the agent hasn't discovered it yet, that they can't be who they need to be unless you're as great as you are. And on this call, all I wanted to do, like I said, was have fun, help you find some ways to be more efficient, help you find ways to build business and become invaluable to that agent so that ultimately you have a great career also. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go a little bit early, and I hope that I see you again on a future call. Again, the Graduate Real Estate Assistant Program should be starting again in March. I've got one going on right now. I look forward to everyone on another call in the future. Thank you for your time commitment. Thank you for the agent's financial commitment. Go have a great, great 2014. Thanks, everybody. It's been my privilege. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Monica.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Have a great holiday. Bye-bye.